ma'am.
Good morning. Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. And first of all, I'll make my introduction. Okay, I'm Chakshi Bhattrai. I'm working as assistant professor since 2007 in this YAMCOMS. Some of you students I met in YAMCOMS, but I was doing research work in the main Manipal, Mangalore, so I was unable to meet some of you. Okay, so again, I heartily welcome all of you to the YAMCOMS in first semester. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now, shall we start the class? Okay, is it?
Yes,
Okay. Now, whenever I unmute the mic and whenever I'll ask the questions or discussion or you have any problem, you can unmute your mic and ask the question. Otherwise, you can mute it. Okay? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, is the PowerPoint visible? All of you? PowerPoint visible?
Yes. Yes,
And
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
does the cursor also visible? Cursor also visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now we'll start the class gluteal region. Today we'll be studying gluteal region. Okay. Now gluteal region, this part, this posterior aspect of the lower limb, buttock. In English we say buttock. This is known as the gluteal region. The extent of the gluteal region, all of you, can you see the cursor? Any of you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay, now if you have any queries, unmute it and ask the question. Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now extent of the gluteal region. This is known as the gluteal region. Also in English we say buttock. The extent of the gluteal region superiorly is by the entire length of the iliac crest. This bony projection of the hip bone. This is hip bone. This bony projection of the hip bone is known as the iliac crest. So superiorly it is bounded by the iliac crest. Inferiorly this skin fold. This skin fold, it is known as the gluteal fold. It is a transverse skin crease for the hip joint and it does not coincide with the muscle. Inside this gluteal region, deep to it, there is presence of a muscle, big muscle known as gluteus maximus. So this gluteal fold do not coincide with the lower border of the gluteus maximus. Okay, and posteriorly on the midline, the gluteal region is bounded by this midline. This is known as mid dorsal line. It is formed by the sacral spine. This bone is known as sacrum. The bony projection of the sacrum are known as sacral spine. So posteriorly it is bounded by the sacral spine in the mid dorsal line, superiorly by this iliac crest, inferiorly by the gluteal fold, and anteriorly, this is anterior aspect, anteriorly by this bony projection. This bony projection is known as, this is the bone ilium. This is present anteriorly. This conical bony projection of the ilium, which is present anteriorly, this is known as anterior superior iliac spine. Here I mention it as ASIS, ASIS. So anterior boundary of the gluteal region is the imaginary line passing from the anterior superior iliac spine to the anterior edge of greater trochanter. Can you see this number 12? Anybody? Number 12?
Yes, ma'am.
This
Yes,
is known as greater trochanter. Greater trochanter. So anterior boundary is by the imaginary line passing from the anterior superior iliac spine to the greater trochanter. Again I repeat, the extent of the gluteal region are superiorly by the iliac crest, inferiorly by the gluteal fold, posteriorly or in here I mentioned it behind is by the mid dorsal line of the sacral spine, anteriorly by the imaginary line passing from anterior superior iliac spine. This is anterior superior iliac spine to the greater trochanter. Now, what are the bony landmarks that you can feel in the gluteal region? The bony landmarks that you can feel along the gluteal region is, you can feel the whole length of the iliac crest. Whole length of the iliac crest from this anterior superior iliac spine to the posterior superior iliac spine. This number 5 is posterior superior iliac spine. The summit, this is the highest point of iliac crest. This is the highest point of the iliac crest. So highest point of iliac crest from one side to the another side will pass through the L4 spine. L4 spine. L4 spine means spinous process of fourth lumbar vertebra. What is the clinical relevance of this surface projection? The clinical relevance is, with the help of the highest point of iliac crest, you can palpate the fourth lumbar spine, and via which you can, between the third and fourth lumbar spine, you can pass the needle to aspirate the cerebrospinal fluid through the spinal system. Okay, so that process is known as lumbar puncture. That is the clinical relevance of the bony landmarks of the gluteal region, number 1. Number 2, it is labeled in number 5. This is posterior superior iliac spine. If you pass a finger from posterior superior iliac spine of one side to the posterior superior iliac spine of the another side, it passes through the second sacral spinous process of second sacral vertebra at this point. And here at this point, the dura mater and the arachnoid matter of the spinal cord terminate. Okay, this is the another clinical relevance. Another part which is palpated in the gluteal region, which is very important in orthopedic point of view, that is the greater trochanter. This is the tip of the greater trochanter. How do you palpate? It is palpated a hand breadth below the tubercle of the iliac crest. Now question arises, where is tubercle of the iliac crest? This is anterior superior iliac spine. Okay, and 5 centimeter is equal to 2 inch. 1 is equal to 2.5 centimeter. So 5 centimeter behind this anterior superior iliac spine, here lies the iliac crest. You can easily palpate in your body, in anybody body, even in the obese person. So a hand breadth below this iliac crest is the tip of the greater trochanter. Now ischial tuberosity, this bony projection that you can palpate in the gluteal region is the ischial tuberosity, which lies vertically below this posterior superior iliac spine at the lower level of coccyx. This is the coccyx. This is sacrum. This is coccyx at the lower level of the coccyx. Are you following? Have you understood the bony landmarks?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Now the bony floor in the gluteal region. What are the bony floor? What are the bones that lies in the gluteal region? The bones that lies in the gluteal region are dorsal. Dorsal means posterior. Dorsal surface of the sacrum and coccyx. This is coccyx. Then this posterior surface, this full bone is known as hip bone. Okay, this full bone is known as hip bone. Now this part of the hip bone is known as ilium. Ilium. This part of the hip bone is known as ischium. Ischium. Okay, so what is the bony floor? This posterior surface of the ilium is also known as gluteal surface of the ilium. Gluteal surface of the ilium. Now this is the dorsal surface of the ischium. This bony projection is known as ischial tuberosity. All of you, if you are sitting position, you can feel the bone in your buttocks. That bone you are feeling when you are sitting position, that is known as ischial tuberosity. Okay, and this conical projection of the ischium, this is known as ischial spine. And beside this, there are presence of the notch which converted into the foramen by these ligaments. Those notch are known as, this is greater sciatic notch. After attachment of the ligament becomes greater sciatic foramina. This is lesser sciatic notch. This ligament convert this notch into lesser sciatic foramina. So what are the bony floor? Dorsal surface of the sacrum, coccyx, gluteal surface of the ilium, dorsal surface of the ischium, ischial spine, ischial tuberosity. Okay, and ligaments. What are ligaments? This is the ligament which is extending from sacrum to the ischial tuberosity. This is sacrotuberous ligament. The ligament extending from the sacrum to the ischial spine. This is known as sacrospinous ligament. In addition to it, some of the bony part of the femur also comes in gluteal region. They are, this is the posterior surface of the neck of the femur. Okay, and beside this, you can, there is greater trochanter. This is greater trochanter. This is lateral trochanter, and this bony projection on the posterior aspect of the femur. This bony projection here, it is known as gluteal tuberosity. So these all bone participate to form the floor of which region of our body? Gluteal region. Okay, yes? Any question? Yes? Yes, any question there?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if you have any question, please unmute your mic and ask the question, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this is superficial. You know what are the layer of our body? The first and foremost layer is skin. The skin. Deep to the skin lies the fatty layer, superficial fascia. What is this? Superficial fascia. You can see this superficial fascia in the region of our gluteal region, buttock. It is thick and fatty. In the case of the female, the fat is abundant. So this is superficial fascia. Deep to superficial fascia, what layer lies in our body? All of you know this is deep fascia. So what are the layer? First comes the skin. Deep to the skin is the superficial fascia, and deep to the superficial fascia is the deep fascia. Now, in the superficial fascia lies the several nerves and vessels. Those nerves and vessels in the superficial fascia are known as cutaneous nerves and vessels, which innervate the skin. Okay, so what are the cutaneous innervation of the skin of gluteal region? These are the nerves which supply the skin of gluteal region. They are, the gluteal region is divided into 4 quadrants. This part of the gluteal region is lying upper and slightly anterior. So upper and anterior part. This part is known as lower and anterior part. This part is known as upper and posterior part. This part is known as lower and posterior part. The upper and anterior part is innervated by 2 nerves. That is the lateral cutaneous branch of iliohypogastric nerve. Another branch is not shown in this picture. Lateral cutaneous branch of subcostal nerve. Okay, and in the upper posterior part, it is very easy to remember. Upper posterior part are innervated by 2 nerves. Upper, you can easily, upper means superior, and this is gluteal region. So what is the nerve? Superior gluteal nerve. And medial, this is medial side. You know the anatomical position. Yes, this is superior, this is inferior, this is lateral and anterior, this is medial. So this part is innervated by medial gluteal nerve. Here it is labeled as a cluneal nerve. Cluneal and gluteal means, in the Latin, gluteal and cluneal means buttock. Okay, so upper and anterior part is innervated by lateral cutaneous branch of iliohypogastric nerve and lateral cutaneous branch of subcostal nerve. Upper and posterior part are innervated by 2 nerves. Superior gluteal nerve branches from superior gluteal nerve and branches from medial gluteal nerve. And lower and anterior part, here you can see several nerves. They are the posterior division of lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh. And lower posterior part is by 2 important nerves. They are the perforating. This is the perforating branch of the cutaneous nerve, or perforating cutaneous nerve, simply known as perforating cutaneous nerve. Another branch is from the posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. Posterior cutaneous nerve of the thigh. So this is the cutaneous innervation of gluteal region. Here you can see, this is the picture from the Chaurasia. So upper and anterior part is innervated by 2 nerves. Lateral cutaneous branch of subcostal from T12. Lateral cutaneous branch of iliohypogastric nerve. Upper posterior part is by L1, L2, L3 means this is superior gluteal nerve. Medial gluteal nerve S1, S2, S3. Lower anterior part is by the branches from posterior branches from lateral cutaneous nerve of thigh, and lower posterior part is by branch from the posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh and perforating cutaneous nerve. So whenever we ask in exam, draw a well-labeled diagram on the cutaneous innervation of the gluteal region. So you have to practice this diagram given in Chaurasia. This is simple diagram and you have to draw this. This is a very important question in SAQ. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now, what are the layer? What we studied? First is skin. Deep to skin, what lies?
Fatty layer.
Yes.
Superficial fascia.
Yes. Deep to superficial fascia, what lies? Deep fascia.
Yeah.
Deep
Okay.
fascia.
Okay. Okay. Now deep fascia of the gluteal region. This, can you see this membranous, whitish membranous layer? This is deep
Yes,
fascia. Okay. Now deep fascia is attached superiorly to this part of the bony projection is known as what? I told you. What is the name of this crest? Iliac crest. So superiorly it is attached. Superiorly, it is attached to the iliac crest. Okay, and posteriorly behind what lies in our buttock? Sacrum. So posteriorly, it is attached to the sacrum, and this fascia splits to enclose the muscles in the gluteal region. The muscles are this muscle that you see is tensor fascia lata, and this big muscle in the gluteal region is known as gluteus maximus. Maximus means large, big, and forms a thickened sheath. The name of the deep fascia in the gluteal region is known as gluteal aponeurosis. Here you can see this is the gluteal aponeurosis, and it covers the gluteus maximus. Now, before entering into detailed structures of the gluteal region, you should know brief anatomy, osteology of the hip bone. I will just describe a simple brief anatomy of osteology of hip bone. Detail will teach you in practical, okay? This bone that you see is the hip bone. Hip bone consists of three parts. This upper part is known as ilium. Lower and anterior part in red color is known as pubis. Lower and posterior part in blue color is known as ischium. All three parts joined together in this fossa. Coxiped cavity you see is known as acetabulum, which forms the hip joint. Okay. Now this is the posterior view of the hip bone. I will just enumerate the structure. Okay. Be confident. If you have any queries, ask here. Okay. Then only you will understand the muscles attachment. Now this posterior, this is the posterior aspect of the ilium. Okay. The posterior aspect of the ilium is known as gluteal surface of the ilium. The upper end of the ilium is known as iliac crest. This whole is iliac crest. Iliac crest extends from this conical bony projection. This is known as anterior superior iliac spine. This posteriorly is known as posterior superior iliac spine. Similarly, there is a notch. This is a notch. Below the notch, there is another spine, conical projection. This is inferiorly present, anteriorly present. So very easy. Anterior inferior like spine. Similarly, on the posterior side, there is shallow notch and posterior inferior like spine. Between the anterior superior like spine and posterior superior like spine, this curved linear curved bony elevation is known as iliac crest. This iliac crest consists of two parts. The anterior 2/3, from here to here is the anterior 2/3 part, and the remaining one is the posterior 1/3 part. Okay, posterior 1/3 part. Here there is a bony projection known as iliac tuberosity. Iliac tuberosity. In the anterior 2/3 part, it consists of three parts. Can you see this? This is outer lip, this is inner lip, and this is intermediate area. Okay, and 5 centimeter, 2 inch behind the anterior superior iliac spine, there is a bony projection here. This is known as iliac tubercle. What is this? Iliac tubercle. Okay, this is, I repeat, anterior superior iliac spine, iliac crest, posterior superior iliac spine, anterior 2/3 part, posterior 1/3 part. This is iliac tubercle. Anterior 2/3 part has outer lip, intermediate area, inner lip. Okay, and this is the gluteal surface of the ilium. Gluteal surface of the ilium is divided into 4 areas by 3 lines. Those 3 lines were, can you see this, all of you? Any one of you please reply. Can you see this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
This,
ma'am.
yes. Now, can you see this notch? This is known as big notch. This is known as greater sciatic notch. Greater sciatic notch. Now, this line extending from greater sciatic notch, this is known as posterior gluteal line. And the another line, can you see this? Going anteriorly, this is anterior gluteal line. Another line going towards the notch. This is notch and in spine. This is inferior gluteal line. So, how many lines? What is the name of this line? What is the name of this line?
Posterior gluteal line.
Posterior gluteal line.
This is
Anterior gluteal line.
Inferior
Very good.
gluteal line.
And this is
Inferior gluteal line.
Gluteal line.
okay. Now you see
Inferior
carefully.
line.
Yes, these 3 lines divide the gluteal surface of the ilium into 4 parts. This is area behind the posterior gluteal line, 1 part. Area between the anterior and posterior gluteal line, 2nd part. Area between the anterior and inferior gluteal line, 3rd part. Area below the inferior gluteal line, 4th part. Are you confident?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes,
Now
ma'am.
this blue color bone is ischium. This conical process of the ischium is known as ischial spine. This notch is known as lesser sciatic notch. This big bony elevation is known as ischial tuberosity. This projection of the ischium is known as ramus of the ischium. This red color part is known as pubis. This is pubic tubercle. This is the superior ramus of the pubis. This lower one is inferior ramus of the pubis. The inferior ramus of the pubis with ramus of the ischium together is also known as ischiopubic ramus. And enclosing the foramen here, the foramen is known as obturator foramen. Are you confident with the bone? Are you confident?
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Okay, now I will go into the detail of the structures in the gluteal region. Now, there are three important muscles. There are many muscles in the gluteal region. However, three important muscles are very, very important exam point of view according to the Kathmandu University syllabus. The most important muscle is gluteus maximus, the big muscle which lies deep to deep fascia, superficially present. This is the gluteus maximus. Now, the gluteus maximus has this part, the medial, upper and medial part is the origin, lower and the lateral part is the insertion. This is the insertion. Now, the origin of the gluteus maximus, I will elaborate. I have teach you the part of the bone. Now, it will be, I think it will be not a problem. Even though if it is problem, you can ask me, okay? The origins of the gluteus maximus are, see, dorsal segment of the iliac crest, okay? And the posterior gluteal line. You have seen in the previous slide, posterior gluteal line, area behind it. And here is the dorsal surface of the sacrum, side of the coccyx, and the ligament extending from the sacrum to the ischial tuberosity. I told you what is the name? Very easy to remember, sacrotuberous ligament. Then there is the aponeurosis here in the back of our body. The aponeurosis here is known as thoraco, extending from thorax to lumbar region. So thoracolumbar fascia of the erector spinae, and the ligament, which ligament? Sacrotuberous ligament, and the fascia covering the which maximus? This fascia. I have this fascia, gluteal aponeurosis. So what are the origin of the gluteus maximus? Dorsal segment of the iliac crest, posterior gluteal line and area behind it, dorsal surface of the sacrum, side of the coccyx, sacrotuberous ligament. Yes. Then here is the fascia, thoracolumbar fascia, and fascia covering the gluteus maximus. What is the name? Gluteal aponeurosis. So this is the origin. Now insertion, here you can see this is the insertion, lower lateral part. This is the insertion. You can see the majority of the fiber has insert into 3/4 of the fiber has insert into this thickening of the fascia. This is known as extending from ilium to tibia. So the name is iliotibial tract. 3/4 insert into iliotibial tract and 1/4 insert into this bony projection, gluteal tuberosity. What is this? Gluteal tuberosity in the femur. Gluteal tuberosity in the femur. And you know the basic general anatomy that the action of the muscle always takes place from insertion to origin. Okay. So it will pull this bone, this femur towards the origin. This is the origin. So what are the action? When it pulls the femur towards the origin, it produces the extension at the hip joint. It will help in the rising from sitting position. It also helps in the erect posture of our body. And when it is pulling this femur towards the origin, it produces the lateral rotation of the femur or the thigh. Okay, and abduction of the thigh. Since the 3/4 muscle is attached to the iliotibial tract, as the name indicates, ilio means ilium to tibia. Tibia is the bone of the leg. So tibia forms the which joint? Knee joint. So through the iliotibial tract, it maintains the extended position of the knee joint. Are you following? Confident with the gluteus maximus? Very, very important muscle.
Yes,
very
ma'am.
important. Spotter point of view, practical, theory, SAQ, MCQ. Are you? Can you write down short notes on the attachment of the gluteus maximus? Attachment means origin, insertion, action. And what is the nerve supply of the gluteus maximus? The name of the nerve which supplies the gluteus maximus is inferior gluteal nerve. Inferior gluteal nerve. Now, when we got this gluteus maximus, you will see the many structure deep to it. The structure deep to gluteus maximus is very, very important clinically. So you should know in detail. First, I'll enumerate the structures. What are the structures deep to gluteus maximus? First, bones and ligaments. What is the name of this bone? What is the name of this bone? Anybody? Yes. Any one of you can answer? What is the name of this bone?
Ilium.
Yes. So, okay.
Ilium.
The bones lying next to it is ilium. This is what? This is
Sacrum.
sacrum. Yes.
Sacrum.
This is what? Coccyx.
Coccyx.
Okay.
Okay.
This is which tuberosity? Ischial tuberosity. Yes. This is greater trochanter. Then what is the name of this ligament? Sacro. What is this? Sacro.
Tuberous.
Yes. Yes. Sacro spinous. Now, similarly, the ligament between sacrum and ilium. This is present posteriorly. So very easy. Posteriorly. What is the another word for posterior? Dorsal. Dorsal sacroiliac ligament. Okay. So what are the bones? Ilium, sacrum,
Coccyx.
ischial tuberosity, greater trochanter, then is your ischium, neck of the femur, sacrotuberous, sacrospinous ligament. Now there is a bursae. What is the name of the bursae? What is the bursae? Bursae is the small pouch which consists of the fluid and prevent the friction of the tendon or prevent the friction during the movement. The bursa are known as, how many bursa lies deep to gluteus maximus? One is trochanteric bursa. Trochanteric bursa lies between the big muscle. What is the big muscle? Gluteus maximus and the greater trochanter. This is greater trochanter. Gluteofemoral bursa means it lies between the gluteus maximus and vastus lateralis. You have studied front of thigh. In the front of thigh, there is a big muscle. On the lateral aspect, vastus. Vastus means big. Vastus lateralis. So there is one bursa, gluteofemoral. Another is ischial bursa, between the ischial tuberosity and gluteus maximus. Okay. Now, what are the muscles deep to the gluteus maximus after cutting? This is the cut part of gluteus maximus. Deep to the gluteus maximus, what muscle you will see? We will do dissection. When you return back, we will do dissection and you will see all these structure by yourself in the cadaver. The structures deep to gluteus maximus that is present in your body also. What are the structures? The muscles is, this is the gluteus medius. This is the gluteus minimus. This conical shaped muscle is piriformis. These two twin muscle, twin is known as gemellus. Singular gemellus, and plural we say gemelli. So this is present superiorly, superior gemellus. It is present inferiorly, inferior gemellus, and this is the tendon of obturator internus, and this quadrilateral shaped muscle is quadratus femoris. Beside this, there is the origin of the muscle of the back of the thigh. This muscle of the back of the thigh is known as hamstring. Ham means thigh, string means like a thread. So this is the origin of hamstring muscle. So what are the muscles lying deep to the gluteus maximus? The muscles are gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, piriformis, superior gemellus, inferior gemellus, tendon of obturator internus, and the origin of hamstring muscle. Beside this, there are two arterial anastomosis deep to gluteus maximus. Here you can see, after taking out all the muscles and structures, you can see the anastomosis. This anastomosis related with the greater trochanter. This is known as cruciate anastomosis. This anastomosis related with the neck of the femur, deep to gluteus maximus. This one is known as this is trochanteric anastomosis in relation with the greater trochanter, and in relation with the neck of the femur, this one is known as cruciate anastomosis. So these two anastomosis lie deep to the gluteus maximus. So now, what are the neurovascular bundle deep to the gluteus maximus? The neurovascular bundle deep to the gluteal maximus, for the easy purpose, divided into two categories. The neurovascular bundle lying above the piriformis. please. Yes. Are you following? Are you following?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. Now the neurovascular bundle deep to the gluteus maximal are categorized into two groups by the key muscle of the gluteal region. The key muscle of the gluteal region is piriformis. The piriformis divides the neurovascular bundle into two groups, above the piriformis and below the piriformis. Above the piriformis, the neurovascular bundle are superior gluteal nerve and superior gluteal vessels. Vessels means artery and vein both. Below the piriformis, they are, can you see this nerve? This is sciatic, thick nerve of our body. This is sciatic nerve. Then there is another nerve. This is which is supplying the posterior part of thigh, posterior femoral cutaneous nerve. Then this small nerve which is supplying the maximus. This is inferior gluteal nerve. Then there are three nerves. This medial most nerve is nerve to obturator internus. Then there is a vessels. This is internal pudendal vessels. Then there is a pudendal nerve. And beside this, there is one artery running downward. This is the inferior gluteal artery. Vein is not shown in this picture. So what are the structured below the piriformis deep to gluteus maximus? They are sciatic nerve, posterior femoral cutaneous nerve, inferior gluteal vessels, inferior gluteal nerve, nerve to obturator internus, internal pudendal vessels and pudendal nerve. Now here in this picture you can see clearly, this is after cutting gluteus maximus. The key muscle here is the piriformis. The above the piriformis, what is the neurovascular bundle? You can see in the red color, this is superior gluteal artery. Blue color, which is cut here, superior gluteal vein. Together is known as superior gluteal vessels. Then this yellow color is the superior gluteal nerve. Below the piriformis, the neurovascular bundles are, can you see this thick nerve? This is sciatic nerve. But adjacent to the sciatic nerve, this nerve, which is going to the thigh. Okay, back of thigh. So the name is posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. And this artery that you see below piriformis is inferior gluteal artery. This small blue color one is inferior gluteal vein. Okay. Okay. Here in this, on the other side, you can see the muscle deep to the gluteus maximus. What are the muscle? You can see this is the gluteus medius, deep to medius is minimus. This is piriformis. This is superior gemellus. This green color tendon is obturator internus tendon. This is inferior gemellus, and this quadrilateral sepate quadratus femoris. Okay, and this is the origin of hamstring muscles. Hamstring muscles are the muscle of back of thigh. Now in this picture also I'll elaborate. Above the, this is piriformis. Above the piriformis, what is the name of this artery? Superior gluteal artery. Along with this artery, what other structure lies here? Superior gluteal vein and superior gluteal nerve. Then below the piriformis, what are the structures here? The thickest nerve here, you see this is sciatic nerve. Adjacent to the sciatic nerve, this is the posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. This is the posterior cutaneous nerve of thigh. And this artery that you see is inferior gluteal artery. Along with the artery, there is a vein, inferior gluteal vein, but not shown in this picture. And in addition to it, there are three important structures present most medially. The medial most nerve, this one is the pudendal nerve. And then comes the artery, internal pudendal artery. Then comes the nerve to obturator internus. These three structures together is known as pin structure. P stand for pudendal nerve, I stand for internal pudendal artery, N stand for nerve to obturator internus. This pin structure is very important in the spotter. We'll ask you, identify the threaded structure. This is pin structure. Another important for the spotter question is sciatic nerve. Another important is identify the pin muscle, piriformis, and the tail question will be enumerate the structure passing above and below it. So you have to just enumerate the structure lying above the piriformis, below the piriformis, in the gluteal region, deep to which muscle? Gluteus maximus. Are you confident?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is this nerve?
Sciatic nerve.
Yes. This nerve lie below the piriformis or above the piriformis?
Below the piriformis.
Below.
Okay. What is the name of the nerve above the piriformis here?
Gluteal.
Yeah, gluteal nerve. With superior gluteal nerve. Here you can see.
Gluteal
See
nerve.
here. inferior gluteal
Gluteal nerve.
nerve. Okay, good, good. Gluteus medius. Now, deep to gluteus maximus, there is a muscles. What are the muscle deep to gluteus maximus? Can you enumerate this muscle? What is the name of this muscle? Gluteus medius.
Yes.
What is the name of this muscle?
Gluteus minimus.
No. Minimus you can see. This is piriformis.
Piriformis.
And what is the name of this muscle? Superior gemellus. Gemellus means twin. The meaning of gemellus is twin. You know the meaning twin, T-W-I-N, twin? Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then there is a tendon of obturator internus. This is inferior gemellus. And what is the name of this quadrilateral staped muscle? See, quadrilateral staped?
Quadriceps femoris.
Yes. Yes. Then the origin of this muscle of the back of thigh. What is the name of the muscle of back of thigh? Hamstring. Ham means back. String means it resembles like a thread. So hamstring muscles. Okay. Now a detail about gluteus medius. This is gluteus medius. This is the origin of gluteus medius in the ilium, in the trochanter. Which trochanter is this? Greater trochanter is the insertion. So what is the origin? As I have already stated, in the bone, the gluteal surface of the ilium is divided into 4 areas by 3 lines. Posterior gluteal line, anterior gluteal line, and inferior gluteal line. Now this gluteus medius arises from the gluteal surface of the ilium between anterior gluteal line and posterior gluteal line. What is the insertion? In which trochanter? Greater trochanter of the femur. But on which surface? This is lateral surface. There is a ridge there. The name of the ridge, it is directed obliquely. So it is the oblique ridge on the lateral surface of which trochanter? Greater trochanter. Okay. This is the insertion. This is the origin. Are you confident with the attachment of gluteus medius?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. After cutting the gluteus medius, you can see the another muscle deep to it. This is gluteus minimus. Gluteus minimus. Name is very easy to remember. Big is maximus, medial size is medius, and the smallest one is minimus. The gluteus minimus. This is the origin of gluteus minimus, and it is also inserted into greater trochanter. What is the origin? It arises from the gluteal surface of the ilium between the anterior gluteal line and inferior gluteal line. I'll show you again. Yes. This is which line?
Gluteal line.
Posterior.
Yeah. This is which line? This is
Anterior gluteal line.
This is which line?
And inferior gluteal line.
Inferior.
Inferior gluteal line.
Yeah, area behind the posterior gluteal line. This give attachment to which muscle? Big muscle. What is that? Gluteus
max.
Very good. And this is posterior gluteal line. This is anterior gluteal line. This give attachment origin to which muscle? Gluteus
Medius.
Very good. Very good. And this is anterior gluteal line. And this is inferior gluteal line. This give origin to which muscle?
Gluteal minimus.
Gluteus
Minimus.
Confident? Again,
Yes,
what is the which muscle are called here?
Gluteus maximus.
Very good. Yeah. Yeah.
medius.
Yeah. Mute your mic. Yes. Now, gluteus minimus. This is gluteus minimus. Origin is from the gluteal surface of the ilium between the anterior gluteal line and inferior gluteal line. Insertion is to the same greater trochanter. Gluteus medius is attached to lateral surface on the oblique ridge, whereas gluteus minimus is attached to the anterior surface of the greater trochanter. However, both the muscles are attached to the greater trochanter. The action of this gluteus medius and minimus is from insertion to origin. What is the insertion? Greater trochanter. Origin is in the bone. Which bone? posterior surface or gluteal surface of the ilium. So they act together. When they contract, they act together. So the action are same for the both muscles. It is very, very important. If you do not understand, unmute your mic and ask, okay? The nerve supply of these two muscles are superior gluteal nerve. Gluteus medius and minimus are innervated by superior gluteal nerve, whereas gluteus maximus is innervated by which nerve?
Inferior.
Yeah, inferior gluteal nerve. Now, see here in the picture on the left side, there are two limbs. One is, this is the normal limb, this is the paralyzed limb. Okay, in the normal limb, in our case, when the gluteus medius and minimus of muscles contract of the supported side, this means here foot is on the ground, here in the another side this foot is off the ground. So when they contract, they pull the femur towards the origin. Greater trochanter is the part of the femur. So what is the action? It is the powerful abductors of thigh. Abduction. Abduction. Which movement? Abduction. The anterior fibers of the gluteus minimus especially act in the medial rotator of the thigh. Gluteus maximus lateral rotator, gluteus medius and minimus medial rotator. Remember this, there is slight difference. Then this is the very important action. This gluteus, by the contraction of the gluteus medius and minimus, it maintains the balance of the body when the opposite foot is off the ground. How does it maintain the balance of the body? By preventing the tilting of unsupported side of the pelvis to fall down under the influence of the gravity. See, this foot is off the ground. So there is a high chance of falling this pelvis towards the ground. But it is prevented by the contraction of the gluteus medius and minimus of the opposite side. This is how it maintains the movement, locomotion, okay, and maintain the horizontal position of the pelvis, horizontal level of the pelvis while walking and running by alternate lifting of the feet from the ground. So in a summary, it maintains the balance of the body when the opposite foot is off the ground during walking and running, that is locomotion, by preventing the tilting of the unsupported side of the pelvis from falling under the influence of the gravity, and maintain the horizontal level of the pelvis while walking or running by alternate lifting of the feet from the ground. Okay, so this is the very, very important action of the gluteus medius and minimus. The three important muscles are always asked in exam: maximus, medius, and minimus. The action of medius and minimus is very, very important. You should focus in it. You read today in your book, and if you have any queries, you can chat. You can ask the question in the chat in these teams. Okay, and I will answer you. I will also provide you the PowerPoint after finishing my gluteal region class. There are two classes. After finishing that, only I'll provide you. Okay. Then what is the clinical relevance of this medius and minimus? You can see in this picture, in the right side, in the same picture, you can see these muscles. Can you see this, all of you? All of you?
Yes,
Anybody? Yes. Here in this, you can see this muscle is paralyzed. Okay. The right side here, you can see the muscle is paralyzed. So what happens when the person is stand on the paralyzed side of the gluteus medius and minimus? What happened when a patient is stand on affected limb with the paralysis of medius and minimus? The pelvis of the unsupported side sink downward. It will fall on the influence of the gravity. In the normal condition, it prevents the horizontal level and prevent the falling of the pelvis of unsupported side. Thus, it maintains the movement of locomotion. But in the paralysis condition, the pelvis sinks on the unsupported side and the affected person walks in a lurching gait. If you are in the face-to-face in the class, I would have shown you the movement of the lurching gait by myself, walking like the lurching gait. Later on, when we join, you join here, and then I will, or you can see the video of the lurching gait. Gait means walking. Gait means walking cycle, okay, or locomotion. Okay, do not get confused. Gait means it is the process of movement of our body. It is known as walking cycle, okay, or locomotion. Simply we can say locomotion. So this lurching gait, which happened by the paralysis of gluteus medius and minimus by falling the pelvis on the unsupported side. This sign is known as Trendelenburg sign. Trendelenburg sign. Are you confident with the Trendelenburg sign?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you confident with the action of medius and minimus? What is the action?
Yes,
Can you?
ma'am.
What is the action? Adduction or abduction?
Abduction.
Very good. And the most important action, what is the most important action? It maintain which level of the pelvis? Horizontal level. Yes. And it prevent the, what is the main point? It prevent the
Tilting of the unsupported side of the pelvis.
Yes. So this is how it helps in which movement? Locomotion.
Locomotion.
Walking cycle, which is also known as gait. G-A-I-T. Confident?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, communication of the gluteal region. Communication of the gluteal region. What are the communication? I told you in the beginning, there are two notches in the gluteal surface of the ilium. What is the name of this notch? Can anybody tell what is this? Which notch is this? Big notch.
Greater.
Yes, greater
notch.
This is
Lesser
sciatic notch.
notch.
Okay. Both the notch, greater sciatic notch and lesser sciatic notch, are converted into foramen by two ligament. Can you see this ligament? What is the name of the ligament from sacrum to ischial tuberosity? What is this?
Sacrotuberous ligament.
Yes. What is the name of this conical spine?
Ischium spine.
Ischial spine. Yes. What is the name of the ligament from sacrum to ischial spine? This one, small one. Sacrospinous ligament. So, sacrotuberous ligament and sacrospinous ligament divide the greatest, forms the greater sciatic notch and the lesser sciatic notch into greater sciatic foramina and lesser sciatic foramina. Okay. So, through the greater sciatic foramina and lesser sciatic foramina, the gluteal region has a communication into pelvis. This is the pelvis. Now, the structure passing through greater sciatic foramina. What are the structure passing through greater sciatic foramina? The most important muscle is, what is the name of the key muscle, triangular shaped muscle? What is this?
Piriformis.
What is this? One of you said quadratus. This is quadratus. See?
Quadricep.
Yes. Quadratus means quadrilateral. Quadrilateral. And attached to femur. So very easy. Quadratus, femur.
Femoris.
Confident?
Yes, ma'am.
And so why it is known as piriformis is known as key muscle? Because this is very easy to identify, and it divides the nerve and blood vessel into two parts. Upper part, which is passing into gluteal region, upper vessels and nerve, lower vessels and nerve. That's why it is regarded as a key muscle of the gluteal region. Okay. So the communication of the gluteal regions are by through two foramen. What are the two foramen? Greater sciatic foramen and lesser sciatic foramen. Okay. Now, structure passing through the greater sciatic foramina are categorized into two groups. The structure above the piriformis, the structures below the piriformis. Now, you can easily say all of you can participate, or some of you can participate. No problem. Can you enumerate the structure passing of the piriformis? What are these structures? I am using the cursor. What is this yellow color?
Superior gluteal.
Basal means this red color is artery, superior gluteal artery. Is there vein? Not shown. Okay. Now below the piriformis, what are the structure below the piriformis? What is this? What is this? What is this? Which nerve is this? This is which nerve?
Posterior cutaneous nerve.
Very good, very good. And which nerve is this supplying the gluteus maximus? See this one.
Inferior.
Inferior gluteal.
Inferior gluteal nerve. Then most medial nerve, most medial structure. These three structure. Can you see this medially?
Yes.
Yes, they are
Yeah.
spin structure. Spin structure. P
Spin.
stand for this yellow color nerve. P stand for this thick nerve. What is the P means?
Pudendal nerve.
Yes.
Pudendal.
I means
Pudendal.
what is this? I means
Internal.
which artery is this?
Intern.
Internal
pudendal.
pudendal vessel.
Yes. And N stand for knob to
Obturate.
obturator
Or
intern.
In the internals.
Okay, good. Now, structure passing through lesser sciatic foramina. Here it is very important. Here, see the three structures, mainly three important structures which enter into the gluteal region through greater sciatic foramina and winds around the ischial spine and sacrospinous ligament and enter into the pudendal canal in the lateral wall of the pelvis. This is pelvis. Okay, those three structures are known as pin structures. Okay, the pin structure P stand for pudendal nerve, I stand for internal pudendal artery, N stand for nerve to obturator internus. So it enters into the gluteal region through greater sciatic foramina and enter into the pudendal canal through which foramina? Which foramina is this? Which foramina is this?
Lesser sciatic.
Lesser
Yes, lesser sciatic. Can you see this arrow? These
Yes,
three
ma'am.
structures passes into gluteal region through which foramina first? Greater
Greater
sciatic
sciatic
foramina.
foramina.
Then you can see this arrow. It winds round the ischial spine and sacrospinous ligament and enter into the pudendal canal. It is shown by this arrow. Yes.
Yes.
These structures are known as pin structures. Beside this, the structure entering into the gluteal region through the lesser sciatic foramina is a muscle, tendon of one muscle which lies in between. Can you say what is the name of this tendon?
Obturator internus.
Tendon of obturator internus. Above this is which muscle?
Superior
No.
gemellus.
Superior gemellus. Superior means above, gemellus means twin. So there are two twin above, which is related with tendon of obturator internus. Upper twin is known as superior gemellus. Lower
Superior
twin is
gemellus.
known as inferior gemellus.
Inferior gemellus.
Okay. Gemellus or gemellus, whatever pronunciation, no problem. Both pronunciation are used. And gemellus means singular. Gemelli, G-E-M-E-L-L-I means plural.
Plural.
So in some book gemelli, in some book they are mentioned gemellus. Are you confident?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
ma'am.
Now some summary of the gluteal region. Okay. What is the name of this upper boundary of the gluteal region? Which crest is this?
Iliac crest.
Yeah.
What is this lower boundary? What is this lower boundary?
Gluteal.
Gluteal.
Yes. Medially, behind, mid sacrum,
Sacrum.
mid dorsal line, sacral spine. Anteriorly, this imaginal line from anterior suprailiac spine to the greater trochanter. This is gluteal region. In the English, we say buttock. Okay? Confident? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So bony landmarks are anterior suprailiac spine, posterior suprailiac spine, spinous process of sacrum, coccyx, ischial tuberosity, greater trochanter. Yes, these are the bony landmarks. Now, what are the bony floors? Ilium, ischium, sacrotuberous, sacrospinous, sacrum, coccyx. Which surface? Dorsal surface. Posterior surface of neck, greater trochanter, lesser trochanter. Which tuberosity is this? Gluteal tuberosity. Which bone is this? Which bone is this? Femur.
Femur.
Which bone is this? Hip bone. Hip bone. Okay. Now, the cutaneous innervation of gluteal region is divided into four quadrants. This is upper anterior. This is upper posterior. This is lower anterior. This is lower posterior. Okay. Okay. Then deep fascia. What is the name of the deep fascia of gluteal region? Gluteal
aponeurosis.
It encloses two
max-
muscles. Gluteus maximus and this muscle is known as
Gluteus
tensor
Tensor fasciae latae.
Yes, very easy to remember. Tensor means it tenses the fascia. Which fascia? This gluteus aponeurosis.
Gluteal aponeurosis.
That it is known as tensor fascia lata. Okay. All the name of anatomy are very easy. It is you should all simply know the meaning. You can easily remember. Now, what is the name of this bone? All of you tell me. What is this bone?
Iliac.
Hip bone. Very good. Which part of hip bone is this? Red
Pubis.
color.
Pubis.
This part is ischium. This part
Ischium.
is
Ilium.
this part is
Ilium.
Ilium.
What is this bony projection? Iliac crest. What is this?
Crest.
Iliac crest.
This is posterior superior like spine. This is posterior inferior. This is anterior inferior. And this is, you remember, if you remember this part, you can easily remember the origin of all the muscles. This is which line? Posterior.
Gluteal line.
Very good. This is which line?
Anterior gluteal line.
Yes. This is
Inferior gluteal line.
Very good. Which tuberosity is this, my dear student?
Ischial tuberosity.
What is this? What is this? Acetabulum.
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 Obturator foramen. Which notch is this?
Greater
Which notch is
sciatic
this?
notch.
This is
Lesser sciatic notch.
this one. Yes. Which spine is this?
Ischial spine.
Very good. Now, what is the big muscle of the gluteal region? What is this?
Gluteal maximus.
Maximus.
This is this is origin or insertion, my dear?
Origin.
Origin.
Ma'am, your voice is not coming. Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, your mic is muted.
Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Suddenly, internet went. Okay, I'm very sorry. Suddenly, light went. Now, this is origin. This is insertion of gluteus maximus. Can you see the PowerPoint?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what is the name of this muscle? Gluteus maximus.
Maximus.
What is the action of gluteus maximus? Extension and sitting from standing position, sitting to standing position. Okay. Then deep to the gluteus maximus structure, deep to gluteus maximus are very, very important. What is the key muscle? What is the key muscle? Piriformis.
Piriformis.
And the neurovascular bundle above the piriformis and below the piriformis are, below the piriformis, the most important nerve is, which nerve is this?
Sciatic nerve.
Okay. Then deep to gluteus maximus, the other muscles I have taught you today are, what is this? Gluteus medius and
Gluteus minimus.
And the important is they are abductor as well as prevent the unsupported side of pelvis falling towards the influence of gravity. Confident?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now for today this much. Who is the CR of this batch?
We don't have CR, ma'am.
Who is here?
We don't have CR yet.
Okay. Okay, now then I will give the responsibility to the Avigya Acharya. Avigya Acharya, are you responding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I am giving you responsibility to give the attendance and post it on the anatomy wall. Okay?
Ma'am, Raz can do it.
Yes?
Ma'am, we have Raz.
Raz, who is
Raz?
good in internet?
No, ma'am, he's been like a representative for CR.
Okay, Raz, Raz, oh, Raz, please switch on, unmute your mic. Hello? Yes. Yes, now it is your responsibility to post the attendance of the first semester in the anatomy wall, in the Teams. Okay?
Okay, ma'am, I will do it.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, my dear student. There will be next class and I will inform you beforehand. Okay, thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.